Hey guys, I'm back here today and it's just Javon and I, and he's framing the interior butt or the exterior wall here. It's a butt wall, and when I say a butt wall, what I'm referring to is the fact that it goes from the inside of the wall to the inside of the wall. All right, this is referred to, it's an exterior wall, but it's a butt wall. Okay, so I wanted to go over a little bit of how we build these. You guys have built some of them, but I wanted to review a little bit. So one of the main things we're going to do with a butt wall here, we're not able to put the sheathing on the butt wall here at the very ends because the sheathing needs to overlap this wall and end right here. So there would be no way to install it on the ground and stand it up without this obviously rubbing against this wall. It needs to stick out here 4 inches. So typically what we do with a wall like this is we'll build as much as we can. We may put the wall sheathing in the middle of the wall and just leave it off on the ends. This is such a short exterior wall, what we're going to do is just leave the sheathing off of it altogether is the plan here. So that's what you do with a butt wall. One of the main things you notice here, the bottom plate we have tacked to our line. All right, we snapped the line 4 inches back off the end of the house here. All right, and we've snapped the line. We've got our sole plate here attached to the line, okay? We've made sure that the wall is square, which it is square because it's basically butted in between this wall and this point. We would make sure it's square before we put the sheathing on if we were installing any sheathing, so that would ensure that the sheathing is landing dead center on the stud all the way up and down the stud. Some of the parts here, this is the single top plate. We don't put the double top plate on yet so that we can fasten all the cripple studs and common studs and jack studs that we need to fasten. So what we'll do is we'll raise this wall up. After we get it raised in place, we'll fasten it to the other exterior walls, and once we have all the interior walls built, then we'll proceed to double top plating. We had a video yesterday on how to double top plate, but we typically don't start that process until all the walls are raised. That means the exterior walls and the interior walls. However, there are some builders that may put them on periodically wherever they know that it's a good spot that they can put them. They'll put them up before they raise the wall, but in this case, we're just going to wait till we have it all raised. It'll make it simpler, and then we're going to double top plate the entire wall. So again, just to review some of the parts of the wall here, we have our bottom plate or our sole plate. This is a common stud here. This is the top plate again, right here. Our studs are laid out 16 inches on center. We started our on-center spacing. We hooked on out here, and we pulled 15 1/4 for our first stud. So when we were laying out our bottom plate, we started out here at the edge, because that's where the sheathing is going to start. And the first stud location is at 15 1/4, and we fell that way. The next stud location hooked on from the end here would be at 31 1/4 and fell that way, and so on and so forth. The other way we can do it now is we could hook on here, and you would see 16, 32, right to the edge, 48, right to the edge, so on and so forth for our on-center spacing. We have a window opening right here in the middle of or on the end of the edge of the wall here. Javon's not quite done framing it up, but he's going to install the remaining cripple studs. We have those laid out as well, 16 inches on center. We've transferred our marks up here to the sill. Remember, this is called the sill. All right, we transferred our 16 inches on center onto the sill. We're also going to add cripple studs tight against here, and then on center spacing. This is the header here. This is the jack stud. This is the king stud. This again right here is a cripple stud, okay? So it's much easier to build. This is referred to as platform framing. We're going to build a platform and we're going to stand it up repeatedly over and over is what you're doing when you're building walls. So just a little bit of review. I know we talked a lot about the walls here, but just a short video for today, guys. So I hope you're all well and having a great day at home. So take care and talk to you later. See you.